So I'm Bryson Hilton with leadexperiments.com, and I started out with leadexperiments.com and built a massive book of business for our social media marketing agency, literally booking hundreds and hundreds of calendar appointments with businesses. And I actually became so good at it that I started developing some software at leadexperiments.com that actually helps literally hundreds of social media marketing agencies get new customers for their business. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the principles that are used with the software that's available at leadexperiments.com. And of course, you can use that software to literally automate and put your prospecting on autopilot. But again, I'm going to show you and just break down some of the principles so that you could even do it manually yourself, even without the software. So what I'm going to do here is start off with point number one, which is, where's the money at? So one of my mentors that I talked to a long time ago, and I asked him, I said, look, I want to figure out how to get customers for my marketing agency. And you know, he told me something that really kind of stuck with my mind. He said, you know, Bryson, if you want to rob a bank, you've got to go to the bank and rob it. And I was like, what do you mean rob a bank? And he's like, well, you got to go to where the money is. And so I'm going to kind of show you about how to get to where the money is in terms of building up your social media marketing agency. And I'm going to kind of outline a few things here for you. So first of all, you're going to need to figure out where the money is. So go ahead and put this down here. Where's the money? And then, second of all, we'll talk a little bit about this in a second, but second of all, you've got to figure out a way to get them to book some time with you. So I call this right here, we'll just put this down here. It's a calendar. Right? Because unless you can get somebody on your calendar, it's most likely you're not going to be able to convince them to purchase a product or a service from you. So kind of let's go back. Well, let me add one more thing here, and then we're going to skip back to the money. Then you've got to have one more thing, and you've got to have, there we go. You've got to have a presentation. So you've got to have something in hand that you're going to share with that potential customer that's totally going to blow their mind and build trust so they're ready to do business with you. So let's talk first about, where is the money? Now, there's several ways that you can acquire customers online. Well, there's PPC, right? You can run Google ads. But if you're just starting out, and if you're like me, when I was just starting out, maybe you've got, I don't know, 15, 20K in student loans. It's not like you have a ton of money to just spend on PPC trying to acquire new customers. So I'm going to go ahead and X this out. Unless you're a more established agency, you could probably pursue that route, but I'm just going to assume for a lot of you, you're just starting out. And so I'm just going to recommend going to Google. All right? And if you go on Google, you could probably search some directories or find some sort of directories and say, hey, I'm looking for a directory, say, of dentists. And on that directory, say, you're going to have a name, you're going to have an email, and maybe not even an email, but maybe you're going to have a website. And you can go to that website, and then you can find a ton of different information. You can find out their email address. You can find out their Facebook page. And you can find out their phone number. And most likely, some sort of Twitter handle, depending on the company. So now you've literally got 4 points of contact. You've got email, a Facebook page, a phone number, and a Twitter. And what I have done successfully personally, and what leadexperiments.com has successfully taught literally hundreds and hundreds of people, is that if you can send out a very targeted email that speaks specifically to the needs of your audience, they're going to be willing to book a time on your calendar to actually talk to you, to learn a little bit more about your social media marketing agency. So let's talk a little bit about the calendar here. What I do when I send out, say, an email to a dentist or to a doctor or maybe a roofer or a plumber, I just say, hey, I am a social media marketing expert. I'd like to help you out with some of your social media marketing. Is there a time on? And you put a link to your calendar. I'm going to tell you about a free resource. This is a free calendar system online. It's called Calendly. Calendly.com. And you can get a free calendar, and I highly recommend this calendar, and I make no money by promoting them, but it's absolutely free, but it converts extremely well on mobile phone. And the reason why it's important is most people that you're going to be emailing or Facebook messaging or maybe texting on their phone number, they're going to be getting it on their mobile phone. And so when they click to your calendar on calendly.com, it's going to have a really nice interface for them to book a time. So they book a time with you, let's say at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday, and you have them book with their first name, their email, and now their phone number. So now you've really got somebody on the line that's ready to do business with you. They're ready to be impressed. In fact, they're ready to be closed. They want to do business with you. All they need to do now is feel like they can trust you with their business. And that's where the presentation comes in. So I'm going to teach you now about a couple of free tools that you can use to actually do this presentation. So what I do is, once I got somebody booked on Calendly, I give them a call, build a little bit of rapport, and then I say, hey, are you in front of a computer? 9 times out of 10, they're in front of a computer. And then I say, hey, why don't you go to join.me? Again, I make no money by promoting them, 100% free service. And what it does is it allows you to share your computer screen with the business owner. So you say, head on over to join.me, you give them their little code so that they can join your session. And then what I do is on my screen, I have a PowerPoint presentation already prepared. It looks good, and I just literally walk them through the PowerPoint presentation. And then it's literally done, and you're getting tons and tons of new clients for your social media marketing agency. So just to recap, there's a 3-step formula here. You got to go to where the money is. You've got to find some sort of directory online where you can gain access to a name or maybe a website of a particular niche. Could be doctor, dentist, plumber, lawyer, roofer. And then you're going to use one of these 4 channels to just send them a quick, simple message to get them onto your calendar. And I recommend using calendly.com. And then for your presentation, just share a short PowerPoint presentation that gets straight to the point and sells them on your social media marketing agency. To wrap up, what I'm going to ask you is what niche, what directory are you going to specialize in?